Hello everyone, this is Robert with 50 Years of Chess. I brought to you a game today which is going to be a remake of one I've already made. I wasn't happy with the way I made that one some time ago, so I'm going to redo it and make it more better to watch. This game was a game that was played in, when was it? 2011, 14 years ago, and it was against Michael Gladstone of the Horfield Chess Club. The game was played on the 29th of September in 2011, and it was between South Bristol and Horfield Chess Club, as I mentioned. Now, Michael's rating at the time was around 1758, and my rating was around 1848. So Michael was white in this game. And just one other thing about Mike, he was the only person I've ever played who I noticed travelled to matches on a bicycle. I remember him leaving a club where we were at one day, and he went and got his bicycle and rode off on it. So that was interesting, a bit of information for you there, wasn't it? Right, so let's have a look at the game then. Michael was black in this game, I was white. So I opened with e4, Michael played c6, d4, d5, Caro-Kann defense, e5, which is the one of the main moves, and he played what you call the advanced variation, and he played bishop f5, g4. Now this is a little pet line that I was taught by a good friend of mine. He's no longer with us, Chris Evans, who died back in November. Now if they go back g6, then white gets a really good game, but he chose a more safe line, which was bishop back to d7, and he would play e6 and close everything up, which makes the Caro-Kann very, very difficult opening to break when it's played like that, and it's tough to get through. But it's not good for that bishop, because that bishop will be entombed behind those pawns. So I played c4 because I want to crack him open a bit and not let him get too solid a centre. But he chose now to take pawn takes pawn, bishop takes pawn, e6. So there we are. The plan is obviously knight e7 and then d5. So I've got to be wary of that. So I played knight c3. He's played knight e7 as expected. And then I pinned that knight with bishop g5. So he can't go to d5 immediately. So he's brought the queen out to break that pin, but he's also hitting my b2 pawn. So that's quite an interesting move. Now I don't have to be worried about this because he's got a b7 pawn that's not protected. So when I get my rook to b1 after he's taken the pawn, I'm going to be able to recapture that b pawn. But first of all, I must protect the knight on c3 after he's taken that pawn on b2. So I've brought the other knight out to e2. Then he's brought his knight now into d5. So I played a3. I expect him to go knight takes knight. Then after pawn takes knight, he can bring his knight out to maybe to a6 and then back to c7 to try and get into d5 again. So he's gone bishop e7, bishop takes bishop, knight takes bishop. He prefers to play that rather than to prevent himself being able to castle. So I've gone knight into e4. Now this is a lovely little situation here because I've got this wonderful outpost on d6, and that's really, really nice. In fact, I think I'm close to winning this game. No, for sure. Now the b pawn is open, but he's not going to take it because of rook b1. He knows he'll lose his own b pawn. So he's castled, and I played queen d3. He's gone back to c7 with his queen, and I played h4. So my attack is beginning now against his king side. All I have to do is get that bishop back to a2, b1, and then I'll have a real threat of mate on h7 with bishop and queen, which are disguised behind the knight. So he's played b5, which has helped me very much on the way to where I wanted to go, thank you. And I've gone back bishop a2, and now he's gone bishop. He's played his knight into d5 again, which is always good there, but it's not doing anything, but it's still a monster knight, just the same. So now I brought the rook across to c1, because before I play bishop back to b1, I want to make sure I brought the rook into the game. So he's played a5. Now I pushed on that h pawn. This is getting ready to open up his king side. And he's played queen b6. I presume to push on the b pawn. I'm not sure what he's trying to do there. And to get out the pin of the rook on that c pawn, whereas queen was behind. So now I've dropped the bishop back to b1. This is the plan, to try and get that mate on h7, where that h7 pawn is, after I moved the knight. He's seen this, of course, and he's played f5. So he's given me an en passant position here, because he's gone past my e pawn. So I've taken it, and he's taken back with the g pawn. G takes f. Now can I play knight takes f6? Well, rook takes would be great if he plays with the knight, and then I takes the knight and he plays rook takes. I think that'd be great also. So now the best thing I can do, I think, is to play g5. Now you might say, well, that's not a good move because he can play f5. Yes, he can, but I have got knight into f6, which is interesting. And he took the knight. I'm wondering whether he shouldn't have took the knight and just left it closed, but he's opened it up for me now, which is why I played knight f6, hoping he would take it. But he saw a chance to win a pawn, which he did, but he's left himself wide open now. With rook g1 check, this is a monumental mistake, because now I play queen g3 and it's mate next move. He should have gone king to f7, and then after I've gone queen to g3, it then goes king to e7, and then I can check him on g7, rook back to f7, queen to g8, so keeping his king in a precarious position. I think I would have kept him on the black squares, so I would have been able to certainly check him a lot. With the multiple threats, this is a good thing. I can just play. So with that, after just 24 moves, Michael Gladstone resigned, and that was the end of the game. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful. Certainly to how to play against Caro-Kann, and always to have the ideal of trying to attack the king, which is the plan I had after I got through the opening. My next plan was to, how can I attack the king? Because we can go on and on and on trying to win games through material and everything else, which many players do. And I've had to do it myself many times, but if I can, I always like to attack the king and try and win it as quickly as possible. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the game. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you always for sticking with the 50 years of chess plan. Thank you. This is meant to be purely for educational purposes for many young players and old players alike who are perhaps just starting the game or play but not to a great playing strength. Well, I'm hoping you'll learn something and help yourself to be a better player. Thanks for watching. See you again. Bye.